I know that the government's about to shut down any second. Earlier today, Donald Trump said that he wants to use our military to wage war against American civilians in American cities. There's still nothing happening in Portland, Oregon. The city is not on fire. A couple of dozen Portlanders are expressing their First Amendment rights down at the ICE facility. But it looks like the rains have come back to the Pacific Northwest, so we'll see how long all those ICE agents in their full body armor last once they get trench foot. So I know there's a lot of shit going on, y'all. But I really want to talk about something. It's been on my list of topics to talk about for 4 or 5 days. And every day there's like more evidence, more additional information. That was redundant, but you know what I mean. There's more to add to the story. So I'm just going to take a second here before it gets too late to talk about. But y'all, Donald Trump's cognitive decline has reached a point where I think a lot of the time he's not actually functioning in reality at all. I know I've seen a couple of news articles about it. I've seen a couple of my mutuals talking about it. But I don't think it's being discussed strongly enough. And over the last week, there have been some pretty alarming advancements, escalations. The thing that really tipped me off was his conversation with my governor, Tina Kotek, the other day. It was a story that actually didn't get that much press. Trump had had this phone call with Governor Kotek, and then the next morning he was asked about it by an NBC White House correspondent. He said, "I spoke to the governor. She was very nice. But I said, well, wait a minute. Am I watching things on television that are different from what's happening? My people tell me different. They are literally attacking and there are fires all over the place. It looks terrible." And I made a video about this back on Sunday where I was like, are his advisors all lying to him? Or like Russell Vogt and Stephen Miller showing him footage of Portland downtown at the BLM protests in 2020? Are they showing him George Floyd protest footage? Like what's happening? Why does he think this city is on fire? Why did he make a statement that there are ICE buildings and other federal buildings in Portland that are under attack? There's only one ICE building in Portland. It's very small. And our own attorney general said in court filings that at most there are 30 protesters down there. Now, there have been more over the last couple of days in response to Trump's escalation, but this is like a real nothing burger. There's 24 kids down there. The city is not on fire. There's nothing happening. No other federal building has anything going on at it. Like, what is he talking about? And even that remark to that NBC correspondent, he seemed confused. Like, Governor Kotek tells me that that's not what's happening. So like, am I being shown the wrong footage? Are my guys lying to me? Like, what's going on? He seemed very confused. And this is right on the heels of a very concerning Truth Social post that he put up. It was an AI video basically saying that he invented med beds. Now, the med bed conspiracy, that's a whole right-wing conspiracy. By the way, Internet Comment Etiquette with Eric has a whole video on it. You should go watch. I didn't know anything about med beds until I saw his video, and then I went down a little rabbit hole. It's one of the saddest conspiracies, saddest wellness grifts out there, but a lot of conservatives buy into it, and Donald Trump posted this on his own Truth Social.
Breaking now, President Donald J. Trump has announced a historic new healthcare system. The launch of America's first MedBed hospitals and a national MedBed card for every citizen.
Every American will soon receive their own MedBed card. With it, you'll have guaranteed access to our new hospitals led by the top doctors in the nation, equipped with the most advanced technology in the world. These facilities are safe, modern, and designed to restore every citizen to full health and strength. This is the beginning of a new era in American healthcare.
In this first phase, only a limited number of MedBed cards will be released. Registration details will be announced very soon.
He posted a bad AI video of himself on his own social media. Y'all, if Joe Biden had done this, the news media would be all over it, saying that he was demented, senile, unfit to rule. And yet we heard fuck all from corporate legacy media about this. I do believe his staff has since deleted this. But there's been a string of very bad AI videos, along with very concerning, confused comments. Now, Trump has seemed like he's sundowning for a while now. When he's really stressed and tired, when he's had a long day, he seems more slurred, slower in his speech. Even at the event earlier today, where they were speaking to 800 of our military leaders, Trump seemed confused and slurring, very slow speech, and he was repeating kind of nonsense.
In our inner cities, which we're going to be talking about, because it's a big part of war now. It's a big part of war. But the firemen go up in ladders, and you have people shooting at them while they're up in ladders. I don't even know if anybody heard that. But And I said, don't talk about it much, but I think you have to. Our firemen are incredible. They're up in one of these ladders that goes way up to the sky, rescuing people, and you have animals shooting at them.
That man is competent to lead the United States of America. First of all, that lie has been fact-checked repeatedly. There are no news stories of firemen up on ladders being shot at in the United States of America. Nobody knows what Trump is talking about. Do you notice how his speech was slurred and he seemed kind of confused and like he was almost talking to himself? Also, incredibly dangerous at the same time. An addled old man who clearly is not in full control of his faculties is having trouble distinguishing between fiction and reality. He's posting conspiracy theory AI videos on his social media as if they're real. He's regurgitating bizarre conspiracies, seemingly confused by them at speeches he's giving to our military leaders, all at the same time he's saying a big part of war now is using the United States military against American civilians in American cities. None of this is concerning to anybody? Nobody? No alarm bells sounding? ABC, CBS, NBC? None of y'all gonna be talking about how concerning this is? This would have been the screaming headline for days if Joe Biden had said shit like this or posted videos like that. I mean, we know that Trump is an old man. There's tons of evidence that he's got the dwindles. There's tons of evidence about him being very confused. Just the other day in a press conference, he got the years that he was president wrong during his first term. He's an almost 80-year-old man who is seemingly having trouble being in touch with reality. He seems confused. It's not really clear if he's running the country or his advisors are just giving him a ballroom to build, being like, okay, grandpa, go stay busy over there. And then showing him footage to get him all riled up of things that are not happening, giving him bad AI videos and being like, remember when you said this? Post this on your social media. Like, what is happening? Is that what's happening? I could list a half a dozen other examples in the last week of when Trump has said something concerning, posted something concerning, specifically in that it makes it seem like he's far more confused and far less often in touch with reality. Where is the outcry from officials questioning whether or not he is fit to be in charge of the United States government? Think back to 1 year ago. If Joe Biden had done any of these things, what would media be saying? What would politicians be saying? This is a man who earlier today spoke in a very confusing manner about nuclear weapons. This is a man who said that our military has to wage war against American civilians. He is not less dangerous the more senile he gets. He's more dangerous. And I guess that also leaves us with the question of who's really running the country. I would argue Stephen Miller and Russell Vought. I mean, earlier today, Donald Trump praised Russell Vought up and down.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown.
Yeah, that was Trump threatening to make things actively worse, to punish the American people and federal employees because the Republicans have failed to fund the government. They didn't show up to work today. Democrats did. All of the Democrats showed up today, ready to negotiate, ready to talk, and the Republicans were not there. The reason that we are going to have a government shutdown is because of Republicans, is because of Donald Trump refusing to fund Medicaid, refusing to prevent hospitals from being closed all across this country. And I want you to understand that the more Donald Trump declines, the more he has the dwindles, the more cognitively impaired he becomes. That will not translate into him becoming sweet. Anybody who's cared for a loved one with dementia can tell you. It seems pretty obvious he is hell-bent on being more malicious, more cruel, more overtly, outright, punitive, harmful, and brutal. And I think speculating, I think that will get worse as long as we continue to tolerate it. I also think it's very telling who's behind the scenes making the decisions that none of us voted for. Russell Vought, the architect of Project 2025. Stephen Miller, literal ghoul and horrific racist. Is this who we want puppeting an aging narcissist? Is this what we want for the future of the American people? Is this what we want for our country? Gonna keep asking that question. Why are we still doing this, y'all?